population at the time. We didn't need to purchase power from the Hoover Dam to sustain that population, so we declined. Well, those power contracts be drawn up in 50-year increments. So it took us 50 years to get power from our own backyard, which is embarrassing. But the good thing is, I'm like, it didn't take us 50 years. It would have taken us 50 years to get power from our own backyard. Okay, but our population had already skyrocketed by the time 1987 came. We'd already run out of the power that was allocated to us through the state of Nevada. And so we have a lot of steam operations around the valley that supplies us most of our power. All right. So basically what I'm trying to say is this. If something was to happen to the Hoover Dam today, about 80% of Las Vegas would still illuminate. We just won't have any water to drink. And don't worry, because even if Vegas does go completely dark, each hotel casino does have its own power generator, which means the slot machine will still take your money, okay? Unless you're winning, then for some reason your machine's on Hoover Dam power. But on the left side of the coach, you guys see this big blob of concrete that we call the Hoover Dam. And out the front of the coach, you guys see the highest single span arch, concrete, and steel composite bridge in the Western Hemisphere. That is the Mike O'Callahan Pat Tillman Memorial Bridge, named after two war veterans. Mike O'Callahan represents Nevada side as a decorated Korean War veteran. Pat Tillman represents Arizona side as the veteran of the War on Terror in Afghanistan. Now, out the right side of your coach, you guys will see the reason why you're on this tour bus today. That reason is the river, the color red, the Rio Colorado, or the Colorado River out the right side of your coach. No river, no tour. This is the river that carved the Grand Canyon. This is also the river that flooded the Imperial Valley, causing millions of dollars worth of crop loss, forcing the U.S. government to build a dam to prevent it from doing that again. That dam is the one that you see here before you. Now, the thing I find most fascinating about the Hoover Dam is the fact that it was built from 1931 to 1935. No computer-generated simulations, none of the modern technology. In fact, many of the tools and techniques used on the Hoover Dam were only thought of because there was a task that had to be accomplished on this work site. This is done on sheer brain power. This is a government project that was finished 2 years ahead of schedule, under budget, and has already paid for itself. I know you can't name another, all right? Out the left side of the coach, you guys see a statue of a high scaler, which is the most dangerous, most high-paying job you could have had at this work site. Only thing that you guys can't really see from this angle is a 75-pound jackhammer that he has hanging from one of these canyon walls, blasting away, playing dynamite, and knocking off loose rocks. Now, the Hoover Dam is 726.5 feet from top to bottom, 1,244 feet wide. The top is 45 feet thick. The base is 660 feet thick. There's enough concrete poured into the Hoover Dam to build a 2-lane highway from Boston, Massachusetts to Los Angeles, California. Out the front of the coach, you have the Fallen Angel statue made to honor those who died on the project. If you go on a Hoover Dam tour, they will tell you that 96 people died, but that is a lie. There was 112 officially and dozens others that died of other conditions directly related to the work site. The toes on the statue here are very shiny because they say if you rub the toes, it gives you good luck. So people rub the toes, then they go play Mega Bucks. Out the right, you have the men's restroom. To the left, you have Nevada time. Also to the left, you have another part of Lake Mead. See the nice little calcium line left on the side of the canyon wall here to show how much of a drought we are in. Keep in mind, this lake has 550 miles of shoreline. We've been in a drought since the year 2000. And now the bus is halfway in Arizona, halfway in Nevada. Which on the left, you're going to see Arizona time. Coming up on the right, you're going to see the women's restroom. Meaning, you could be a couple that use the restroom at the same place at the same time, but literally be an hour away from each other and in two different states. But that only works 6 months out the year as far as time, because Arizona does not celebrate daylight savings time and Nevada does. So for half the year, which is right now, we are on the same time, although the states are in two different time zones. Now everyone is going to want to try their best to look out the right window coming up here. Look out the right window, not the wrong one. Check this out.
Oh, geez. Whoa.
Oh, yeah, now I do.
It's a surprise.
That is the second biggest hole you have seen today. The first biggest is my mouth. I don't care if the engines start running, my mouth won't. As Arizona's overflow spillway, there's one on Nevada side also that is there to prevent water from going over the Hoover Dam. Water from the lake has only seen the spillways twice. First, back in 1941, when the government filled the lake up to that capacity on purpose to test out the spillways. Then back in 1983, the only time that water has ever threatened to go over the Hoover Dam, and if you guys look back at the Hoover Dam now, you'll see the high water mark left on it from 1983. The river flooded so bad in 1983 that water went into the overflow spillways for over 2 months straight. The Hoover Dam is an arch gravity dam, and unlike most dams, water does not go over the top or underneath the Hoover Dam. Water goes into those 4 intake towers that are sitting in the lake, and water is diverted around the Hoover Dam. Now, the Hoover Dam death toll. I told you if you go on a Hoover Dam tour, they will tell you that 96 people died, but it's a lie. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Let's say you're a high scaler up there doing your job with your jackhammer. You fall and you die here at the Hoover Dam. Well, you were claimed in that 96, no worries. But if you're a high scaler up there doing that same job with that same jackhammer, you fell in that same spot, but you died when you got to the hospital? Nope. He was alive when he left here. That's what they did to you. They said something killed you on the way to the hospital or at the hospital, and the fall had nothing to do with it. So later on, surveyors were going to add you to this 112 official number. Then you have conditions like the carbon monoxide poisoning. The Hoover Dam was built by a company called Six Companies Incorporated, a company made up of 6 different smaller companies, because one of the companies alone at the time could not afford the $5 million performance bond by itself. Well, they were sending these gasoline-powered trucks into tunnels. Well, Nevada had a law that prohibited gasoline-powered trucks in tunnels, but 6 companies claimed they were under federal jurisdiction, but they didn't have to follow any of Nevada's laws, so they continued to send these trucks into tunnels, and they were poisoning their men with carbon monoxide. And when the men would get very sick because of this or end up dying because of this, the doctor would say they were sick of or died of pneumonia and not carbon monoxide poisoning. So the truth of the matter is, we don't know how many people died as a result of working on the Hoover Dam. We just know that there's 112 at least. Now, you guys get the opportunity to step off the coach, come over here to the Hoover Dam lookout in Arizona, and take your photo of the Hoover Dam. This is your Hoover Dam photo stop. Now, I know before anyone complains, I know this is not the best vantage point of the Hoover Dam. I know. That's exactly why they bring you here. They say if you want a better vantage point of the Hoover Dam, book a damn tour, okay? Now, time right now is 8:36. We'll leave this location by 8:55. No later than 8:55 are we leaving this location here. Now, when you guys step off the coach, I'm going to be giving you guys stickers to place on the front of your shirts. These stickers need to be visible at all times, as these stickers will help to identify you in case you fall in the canyon, okay? They'll be in a helicopter, that's binoculars. They'll look down to see the sticker, and they'll give me a call and say, Anthony, you ain't got to wait for them. You do not got to wait for them. Now, the restroom on the coach will be available to you when you come back to the coach. Do not use the restroom on the coach until you come back, because I have to service the restroom on the coach, and I cannot service it with someone in it. So use it when you come back. If I go back there and someone's in it, when I go to service it, it just won't be serviced. There are some porta potties down there for those of you who cannot use the restroom on the coach, but if you go into those porta potties, I guarantee you're going to come back to the coach. What's up? Yeah.